広大な大草原パタゴニアのザホリ見ていただきました。映画のタイトルはまさにこうザホリっていうふうにアルファベットで読むとよって実際にどういう発音するのかっていうのをちょっと今日監督に確認させてたら、ザホリっていうことで、すごくなんていうんですか、その土の匂い、灰の匂いみたいなものがすごく伝わってきたなと思って、私このなんかこう奈良にいるのにすごくこの情景にも、入ってなんか連れて行ってもらったっていうような映画でした。はい、こっち入っていっていいですかね、そろそろ。この、さっきちょっと監督ともお話ししてて、今日は他にコンペティション何作かありまして、また明日になるんですけども、監督のすごくバックグラウンドなんかも面白くて、この制作なんですけども、スイス、アルゼンチン、チリ、フランスということですごく共同制作の数が多いなっていう私は向けまして、監督のバックグラウンドに結びつきますし、彼女は南米で育てられるっていうことで、そういうような世界観みたいなものも感じられたかなと思ってます。では早速監督をお呼びしますね。Please welcome マリー・アレサンドリーニ監督です。はじめに、監督の方からお一言いただけますか。Could you please give us a word?
Hello, Nara. Konnichiwa. I'm very happy and moved to be here in Nara, and also very happy and moved to present my movie and that you could see Saori in Japan. I'm very curious to hear what you feel and what you think about this story, about this Patagonian tale.
Okay, thank you. それでは早速ですね、質疑応答の方に移りたいと思いますので、質問ある方、ぜひ挙手のお願いいたします。Any question from the audience? まだかな。Any questions? です。ぜひ、はい、前の女性の方にマイクお願いします。3列目の。
素晴らしい作品ありがとうございます。荒野を行くたくましい子供っていうようなイメージなんですけれど、どうしてこのヒロインにしたのか、どうしてこういうストーリーにしたのかっていうのと、あとは動物がよく出てくるんですけれど、その動物を調教っていうか撮影していくにあたって思うように動かすためにどういった作戦というか方法で撮影されたのかっていうのと、あとはかなり広大な土地をいろんなカメラワークで撮られてたと思うんですけれど、許可を取るのがすごい日本とかだと大変だと思うんです。奈良で撮影する時も多分いろんなところに許可を取ってすごく難しいと思うんですけれど、この映画の場合そういう許可とかは大変じゃなかったのかっていうのと、あと一つどれぐらいの期間で撮影をされたのかっていうのも教えてください。
はい、ありがとうございます。
Okay, a lot of questions. If I remember everything, the first one, why I chose this girl or the story of this girl, I wanted for my first movie, I chose a story that was really meaningful for my life and that gives me strength in my life. So I did a reflection of all the stories I love to tell, which one was this essential story that was like a star for me. And I chose this story that once I got lost in the desert, because I grew up here and I did a lot of artistic works in this region. So I got lost. And the night was coming, and suddenly I saw a light in the middle of the desert. And when I got to this house, it was an old man living there, And it was the first time in my life I meet an old man living really alone and in an anonymous situation. And well, in a way, he saved me life, and he asked me to send him back a radio message. And this was a very strength for me in life. And since then, I was very interested in all these old people that was living alone in the desert, and nobody know they existed. And how were they feeling about that, about living alone and dying alone. And so that's why the reason I choose to tell the story about a young white girl that's going to have a friendship with an old man, with an alone old man. And I thought it was very important for my region and for me to speak about a friendship between different generations, different cultures, and we are all alone. It's in a contemporary situation where all generations and cultures are in a kind of crisis. I answered the animal question. For me, it was important to speak about diversity and connection to nature. For me, it was always very important, this connection to nature in my childhood and all my life, and also diversity. And it was important to have animals also as characters. Of course, it's very, very difficult to work with them in cinema. I choose to work with a non-violent horse dresser. So he took time with the horse. We only had one horse. The real Saori is the only horse in the movie. And he took time with the horse, that is a female, and Mora, to have a relationship between the three of them. So there was a real friendship between them. And we shoot what we could. It's not, okay, there is the scene and I need to have this scene how I can, and I only have perhaps two shoots. So yes, shooting with animals and with philosophy and adapting to them is very difficult, but it was precious for the story.
Permission.
Yeah, and the permission question, yes, we ask for permission, national park permission, and sometimes we didn't ask for it. So we have some permissions and some not permissions. We did a little bit like this. But Patagonia is very wild and very, very big, and I think the whole movie, it's could be 300 kilometers square. So we have a lot of different places, few roads, not a lot of roads also.
How long was the shooting?
The shooting was 5 weeks. 7. I'm very bad with time. 7 weeks, and yes, very slow shooting because of animals, children, and gauchos. And we need to move every time in 4/4. So we had a lot of time of traveling around and every time crossing a river. And so we needed a lot of time just to move around, and yeah, 7 weeks, yes. And most of the shooting is natural light also, so.
Yes, I can see.
全体で出だしからすごくアルマジロを追っかけてるシーンからすごいバックの音楽の使い方がすごい印象的で頭に焼き付くようなすごいその場その場にあった音楽が使われているのにすごく感心いたしました。で特にイタリア語の歌が流れてきている場面とかがなんかメインだったような気がするんですが、現地の言葉の、歌もあったかもしれないんですけど、現地の言葉、先住民スペイン語だけじゃなくてですね、なんかいろんな言語の 混じり合った音楽がバックに流れてたような印象があるんですけど、そのいろんな音楽の中で一番監督として一番思い入れがあるというか、なんか苦労と言ったらおかしいけど、特に観客に訴えたかったようなバックの音楽があったら教えていただきたいということと、あと音楽に関連するんですが、パタゴニアとか広大な自然が背景風景にあるということで、これはごく自然なことかもしれませんが、終始風の音が吹いてたと思うんで、音としてバックに流れてたと思うんですけど、人工的に入れられた音楽と相まってですね、すごくバランス取れた使い方されてたかなと思いましたですが、先ほどの質問にも関連するかもしれないんですが、7週間で撮られたということですけれども、私のパタゴニアというか辺りやっぱり風が強いという印象が行ったことないんですけど、まだ強いという印象、他の映画とか見ててもすごい強い印象があるんですけども、やはり自然の風の音とかでやはりロケするにあたっていろいろ支障があったりして、やっぱり季節とか選ばれたかと思うんですが、その辺のご苦労というか、やはり天候に左右されたりもした経験があるんかという質問です。以上です。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとう。For this music, for me it's very important music in movies. I like to work a lot with music, and diversity is very important for me as well. So that's why I like to work with very different kind of music, with very different origins and very different generations. In the beginning is kodo, Japanese kodo. I did a lot of research for this music in the beginning. I looked for a lot of different percussions. I wanted a warrior percussion, and even I tried Argentinian percussions, but I was not happy with the warrior quality. I really wanted to use a warrior for this young girl in relationship with this armadillo that is called tattoo, this kind of armadillo. So finally we ended with in Japan, and they sent us this onoka and monochrome kodo. So it's Japanese kodo actually in the beginning. And I'm really, really happy with this connection between hunting and the kodo. Then of course we work for a long time the sound, and a lot of months. Italian music is very important in the movie because of the Italian origins of the girl and the Italian origins of Argentina. We are 70% Italians. And the woman, the wife of Nazareno, was also Italian. So I wanted to have this nostalgic feeling Argentina have with Italy. It's very romantic and very nostalgic, and is very present in our culture. So in a way, this Italian music connects the girl and the Mapuche man together, in behalf that they have very different origins. And what the Italian woman sings, that is the singer is Mina, which is a very well-known Italian singer, is singing to the girl, what she says is to be herself, that her interior voice is all that she has, and is very important. And it's of course an emancipation story, so it was very important that this girl hears this voice and her origins voice. And then I have very different music. Of course, I have gaucho music, that is the guitar, and I use it in a way that is connected with the land. It's a music that comes from the place, and is played by a friend of mine that he's a very good guitarist, and he does this folklore, that is inspired in gaucho music. And at the end of the movie, I put Moondog, which is nothing to do with, it's a North American artist. He's between classic and jazz, and he's very connected with ancient music and with contemporary music. And I wanted something that was very deep and and that used different times and different sources. So for me, it was very important to use Moondog, that he's very deep for me. When she finally finds her own way in life, and that's why I ended with this music.
ちょっとお時間が来てしまってるんですけど、the last very question he had was, this is just a very quick one. Did the weather disturb any of the shooting or the weather? That was his last question.
Yes, the wind. Patagonia is very windy. When we grow with wind, we love wind. So it's true that it's very difficult to work with wind, but it's very beautiful also. Well, the DP is here, he won't love me, but you need all the time to be aware to protect things, because dust and ashes, because ashes are real. But also, of course, you have the positive side that is very deep and is very visual. So we needed wind for the story, and we work with it. Then it doesn't rain a lot. That's why it's so dry. So with that we had no problem, and we shoot in summertime. So children were not going to school, and we have good weather. So we have long days, because in summertime in the steppe you have sun since 5 a.m. until perhaps 11 in the night. So you have very long days. Then you have the rules, shooting rules. Anyway, you could not shoot so much, but so weather it was not a problem. Perhaps only once we needed to cancel because of rain, but then wind was part of the story. So you just handle it and take care of technique things.
はい、どうもありがとうございました。すごく時間が過ぎてしまったんですけど、Thank you for the long Q&A session with us. はい、それでは、監督ありがとうございました。
ありがとう。ありがとう。